know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Miami Dolphins fans, I welcome you to another edition of Larry, Lucci, G, and Shake. We are here to talk about the season with you. We have a playoff game coming up against Kansas City in what is expected to be the coldest game that this franchise has ever played in. For a team from tropical climates near the equator, that's not really fun, but this might be the coldest game we've played in thus far. I know Fury Fam executive member Phil is going to be at the game. That's a Kansas dude. He bought tickets already. So we're going to have at least one aqua and orange dude up in the building. So I'm happy about that. And look, if you're in here and you haven't clicked subscribe yet, I really don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and click like. The more likes you click, the more people get in here to join us and talk our junk and do whatever we're going to do. So click that like button, click that subscribe button. Let's get the likes up. Hit the super chats are open. If you want to skip the line, talk to us. I'll address your question directly and quickly. Super chats are open. And by the way, you can click join right here and become a member. Click join, become a member, and support the channel. This channel is going nowhere but up. We've had a great season so far. We're growing. We're going to be with you in the off season too. Got a whole bunch of new content from Shake coming. The other guys are working on stuff. I'll be with you in the off season too. So go ahead and support the channel by doing those things. Let's talk about things I've been thinking, I've been contemplating, I've been pondering. And you know what else I've been doing? See, the week after we lost to Tennessee, and I'm not going to stop saying this because this is just the truth. The week after we lost to Tennessee, I went into mourning. That week is when I was, wearing my emo hat and driving around in the rain and sulking and crying and having one too many beverages and just eating too many sweets, and it was terrible. But this week, I kind of knew what was going on. I kind of expected some of the things that were going to happen. And so I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm feeling a little more analytical. And this week, since we lost the game against Buffalo, which unfortunately I expected that we would lose, I started watching all these other content creators and watching all the stuff going on. And I was pondering and thinking about things. And one of the things I was thinking about was Mike McDaniel as a coach and Tua Tagovailoa as a quarterback and all the talent on this team and the injuries and the GM and everything that could have gone wrong. And I've come to some conclusions. And I'm going to tell you some of the conclusions that I've come to thus far. First of all, Mike McDaniel, with all his talk about how he's going to, and Anthony Lucci, my boy Luchi, is now a member, which he's already a member. We know that, but now he's made it official once again. He has renewed and become a member of Phin-Addict Fury. Welcome aboard, my brother. Even though you don't need any introduction, you already know what's up. Luchi, join. You guys click join and join Luchi on the Fury fam. Click join, become members. Click super chat. Let's talk. Let's keep this channel popping. So, first of all, Mike McDaniel, for all his talk about how he's saving guys for the games that mean something and sitting guys that may be healthy, for the sake of later in the season, I think we've realized now going into the playoffs with all our injuries. We had Jerome Baker, who was out for 4 weeks, comes back, injures his wrist. He's done for the season anyway. We have Javon Holland. He sits out for a while, comes back. He still retweaks it. He's on the injury report all of a sudden. We got all these issues going on with injuries. And look, if you want to sit a guy precautionarily because he's not going to be at 100% in the middle of the season because you think he'll be more effective if he takes a week or two off, that's fine. That's one thing. That's perfectly fine. But the way that Mike McDaniel manages games. I'm not talking about his play calling. I'm not talking about his play design because I'm going to get to there in a second. And Lakers, don't worry. You're going to join tonight. We are taking calls in a little bit. And remember, guys, chats are open. Super chats. You can talk to me on there. Look, Mike McDaniel's management of the roster and as a head coach, I think it's one thing to sit a guy here and there. But here's something I thought about and I realized Ryan is now a member. I know that's Lucci's dude. Ryan, welcome to Phin-Addict Fury, the latest member. We are growing more and more on this channel with memberships, super chats, donations, because we're back. They freed me, and I don't know if they wanted to free me because my mouthpiece is off, and I'm keeping it real, and I'm on a tear, and I'm not going anywhere this offseason, so you guys are stuck with me. And the more we throw down and the more we donate to the channel, the more we can do. We got a lot in the works. Just like my Mondays, man, I'm able to do my Monday afternoons now, put that time aside, put that effort and research aside for you guys because the support for the channel has been so good, and we're back, and it inspires me, and it should inspire all of you. So Ryan, welcome, my brother. Thank you for joining and becoming a member of the channel. You know where Michael McDaniel screwed up this season? Not necessarily with sitting players for a week or two, but putting guys on the injured reserve that probably didn't belong on the injured reserve. He put Devon Achane on the injured reserve, and if you recall his press conference, when they were questioning him about whether Achane was ready when he came back off the injured reserve, McDaniel said that Achane probably didn't even need to go on the IR. He said that his injury was, kind of minor and he just needed to sit for a few weeks, but maybe putting him on the IR helped with roster management and helped give him even the extra rest and this and that and the other thing. But you know what I noticed? Now we've brought Jerome Baker back from IR. He's hurt. He's out for the season. And I've heard rumors that Isaiah Wynn has been in the locker room. He might have been ready to come back from IR and get into the playoffs, except we don't have any more spots to bring guys back off IR because we used them all up, and we use spots on guys like Achane who probably didn't need to go on IR just because we're being extra precautionary. And now we realize it doesn't mean anything in the end because you never know when an injury is going to strike. It could strike in week 1. It could strike in week 18. So it's okay to be a little bit cautious with guys' health. It's okay to keep guys out who aren't going to be at 100%, so they're going to hurt the team. But maybe you shouldn't be so ultra cautious and try to outsmart yourself, because what you're going to do is outsmart yourself right into a conflict. And that's probably a problem. And that's one thing I've thought about this week going into this game and as the regular season ended. And what's up, Natisha? What's up? What's up, everybody out there? Carrie D, another new member. Carrie D, we've talked before. Welcome to the channel as an official Fury fan member. We're happy to have you. The hits keep coming. You know why? You know why more people are throwing down super chats, subscribing, becoming members like Carrie just did, like Ryan did, like Lucci did? You know why? Because we're keeping it 100 here. As people say, 10 toes down on this channel. There's no funny business on this channel. We tell it like it is on this channel. We stay objective. We adjust our expectations. We adjust our analysis as we get new facts and reality in. We don't try to spin narratives nonstop. We just tell you what it is and what we know, and we keep it real. And aside from the 4-letter words, we're also pro-free speech on here, meaning you can have whatever opinion you want and you're not going to be silenced about it. You might get some pushback, but we're not going to gatekeep or any of that nonsense on this channel. This is the channel of the working man. I told you that. We all got day jobs. We out here working, going to school, serving old ladies Pall Malls. You don't know what we're doing, but we come here to talk football because it's a passion, not because we're trying to rack up likes, not because we're trying to become professional YouTubers, but because we believe in this channel. And the little bit of extra support, yeah, it gives me that little extra incentive to go a little harder, to give you a little more content. So welcome, Ryan. Welcome, Carrie. Welcome, Luchi. Everybody who's joining the Fury fam officially, welcome to the channel. Here's what I've been doing the last couple days. I've been perusing all the content creators. I've gotten a heavy dose of the Finn's Tailgate. Chris has that new studio backdrop. Pretty cool. I've been watching Lewis go in on people. I've been seeing CB83 going up and talking in different comment sections and whatnot, and I saw him in here today. I've been watching TD Finn's talk go off. Dougley Do Wrong. Kyle Krabs. I've been watching everybody. Reason. Luchi, thank you for the donation. Just to tell Michael K that he needs to be an honorary member. You're right, Michael. All the time you spend in here, all the entertainment I give you as a Bills fan, you should be a member, sir. You're damn right, Lucci. So thanks for that donation and for saying that. That's true. Now, one thing I was thinking about after this game was, who is to blame? We have all of this talent. We have all of these stats, these numbers, these expectations. What the hell went wrong at the end of this year? Why are we right back where we thought we would be? Now, and look at this. Michael K, Suicide Hotline. He's on the hotline. He just became a member of Fury Fam. Michael K, you are probably my favorite non-Dolphins fan that comes on here, bro. You're that dude. You may not be a Fins fan, but you are certainly a member of Fury Fam, sir. Thank you very much for that support, my brother. It's greatly appreciated, as is that picture of Chris, because it's friggin' hilarious, and I love it every time it pops up. He's got the Dolphins hat with the Bills shirt. It's a mess. I love it. It's great. Thank you very much, my brother. Seriously, I really appreciate the support. I truly do. So I've been watching, and I came across, and Joe says he loves Big O. Well, let me tell you something. Big O has been chasing journalists off of his show nonstop because he talks over them. He won't let them get a word in. And Big O's actually been blowing an artery these days, the way he keeps pushing a certain narrative. And when the narrative's not sticking for Big O, he's starting to slip up. He's starting to lose himself a little bit. And it's really interesting because here's what I'm going to tell you. Big O is a leading to an ear. He's a leading to an ear. And I was trying to figure out who's to blame for this collapse. Who do we point the finger at? What do we do? Is it Tua? Is it McDaniel? Is it Chris Greer? Is it these injuries? What is holding us back? And Natisha, if you want to become a member, just click the join button right here. There's 3 different options to become a member. It should be right under here. It says join. And you'll get behind the scenes content from me, some other things we have in the works. You get preference to come up on the panels. Members get to skip the line when they come up to talk on the panel. And they'll get their comments highlighted sometimes even without a super chat, depending on the traffic in the room. If you click join, you can become a member. So I was figuring out, who do we blame? Because this game against Buffalo, the defense, where all the injuries were on defense. I mean, not all of them. You had an injury to Waddle. You have offensive line injuries, but we actually got Robert Hunt back. Mostert was out, but Achan's running like a demon. And let's not forget, Wilson's a pretty damn good runner in his own right. So what lost us this game? The defense got epic stops at all of the right times. They stopped Josh Allen, who's a monster running the football, on 4th and short at a pivotal time at the end of the game, even while they're banged up. Christian Wilkins, who's sometimes maligned in these forums and these content spaces, Christian Wilkins was a beast. He had a strip sack, grabbed the ball, took it right out of Allen's hands. So how the hell did we lose the game? Why did we lose the game? Whose fault is it that we lost the game? Well, we always talk about McDaniel getting away from the run, right? That's a common theme. He's constantly getting away from the run, and the run is working so well all the time. We're wondering, why does he get away from the run? It's a real problem that he gets away from the run. Well, I was watching Locked On Dolphins podcast with Kyle Krabs today, and then I was watching the Dudley Do Wrong film breakdown. And those two guys in conjunction led me to the place where I really understand a big reason why this team flounders in the toughest moments against the toughest teams and why we've struggled to get over the hump the last couple seasons. And I'll tell you now what I discovered listening to these guys, and I have to give them credit, right? I'm more of the big picture writer opinion guy. I'm not so much the delve into the film, delve into the statistics guy, although I'll do that when I need to from time to time. I rely on these other guys who fill that space in the community. So, Krabs, I give you credit from the Locked On podcast for the statistic, and Dudley, I give you credit for the film breakdown. Here's what was said. On Locked On Dolphins, it was revealed that Out of all the running backs in the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins running backs, Mostert and Achane, when it comes to running the ball, the percentage of snaps, the percentage of carries that they had going against a stacked front, going against 8 men in the box and a stacked box is the lowest percentage in the league. Achane and Mostert are only running into a stacked box about 12% of the time. Most other reputable running backs are in the 20s and 30s running into stacked boxes, percentage-wise. So when teams stack the box, Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins go away from the run. Now, at first, you may be saying, man up, McDaniel, man up, O-line. Who cares if they stack the box? Don't let the defense dictate what you do on offense. But after listening to Kyle break down those stats about running into a stacked box, I flipped over to Dougley Do Wrong and his film breakdown. And Dougley's an objective guy. He's usually been pro Tua, friendly Tua, this and that. But he keeps it real when he breaks down his film. So we already know that Achane and Mostert run into a stacked box at the lowest percentage in the league, which shows that McDaniel, once the team stacks the box, he goes away from the run. But a very important question then comes to light. And that question is he right to abandon the run when they stack the box, or is he wrong? Well, according to Dougley's film breakdown, when the box is stacked, and remember, guys are double covering Tyreek Hill, there's a lot of open guys to throw the football to. And it just so happens that when we're down one or two of our best athletes in Waddle and Mostert, and other teams have better athletes on defense in general because they're better teams, Tua struggles to take advantage of what the defense is giving him. Dougley showed several instances where what happened in this game was the Buffalo Bills were struggling to stop outside runs and off-tackle runs by Devon Achane. And I don't know if anybody hits holes as good as Devon Achane does, but he was running all over them. So the Bills adjusted in the second half, and they brought more men into the box, and they had guys further outside to stop the outside runs who were more athletic. And at that moment, Mike McDaniel said, okay, you want to counter me by bringing guys into the box? Now you're opening up the secondary, and I'm going to counter you because we're going to start throwing the football. But unfortunately, what the film shows, and this is a show me season, this is me keeping it real. Tua's been awesome all year. He's the passing leader in yards. I still think he's got the makings of a lot of great qualities that make a good quarterback. But the fact of the matter is, he missed guys. He missed reads. Occasionally, guys in the secondary baited him into throws. And when the game plan is off script and adjusted, it's not the coach that's failing to adjust adequately. It's the quarterback who's failing to capitalize on the adjustments that the coach has made. That's a fact. It's a fact some might not want to hear, but you see on Big O's podcast, now he doesn't even hesitate. He starts entitling his podcasts, will Mike McDaniel get fired? Will Mike McDaniel shape up? And what he does by doing that is he sets the foundation and the basis. He doesn't say what's wrong with the Dolphins to give you a chance to talk. He just sets the narrative. He sets the problem as McDaniel, and will McDaniel improve? But here's the thing. If you have two head coaches who both had some skills in certain areas come into a team, and both coaches have failed, maybe the common denominator is not the coaches. Maybe there's another common denominator on the team that's causing us to hit that roadblock. And how long can you ignore certain limitations on the one hand? And on the other hand, if Mike McDaniel was capable of taking Tua Tagovailoa, who went against better competition, the play caller, McDaniel, is calling plays that leave guys open based on the defense, but the quarterback is not executing properly. At what point do you say that Mike McDaniel's a pretty good coach and offensive mind because he was able to make a limited quarterback statistically one of the best in the league? It's chicken or the egg. Is Mike McDaniel holding the team back because Tua is so talented and his team is so full of talent, but McDaniel couldn't get him over the hump? Or has Mike McDaniel taken a limited quarterback as far as he can go? And maybe with a less limited quarterback could do even better? It's a valid question, Adam, another Fury fan member. He's got the Panthers in his avatar. It's hockey season, baby. Adam, what's up, my brother? Got the chance to meet Adam down at the stadium this year, which was awesome. I had planned to come back for the playoffs, but sadly, I'm not going to be able to because we're not going to play at home. Unless by some miracle, the Steelers beat everybody. And by an equally as insane miracle, we beat KC and Baltimore in succession. So I don't think I'm going to make it to a playoff game, guys. I'm sorry. But Adam, what up? So all this nonsense. And Adam's telling you, become an official member of Fury Fam. Adam's telling you, join Fury Fam. Become a member. We're freed. We're back. We're not going anywhere. Become a member of Fury Fam. And CB83 saying, yeah, he can add guys to the box. Okay. But protection wasn't an issue. Are you saying add guys to the box so we could run better? That's fine too. But if you're saying and you're conceding that we have to run better, then you're saying the quarterback can't get it done through the air, so we have to lean more on the run because we can't rely and lean on him. So either way, you've got a problem. I'm not sitting here saying get rid of Tua, cut him, trade. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You got to hope Tua gets better. I'm just calling balls and strikes. I'm not the one in charge of making tweaks to the team or trying to improve the team. And if running the ball is our strength at this point, that's great. I know that makes sense. I agree. And I think our two running backs are really talented, so it doesn't take anything away from the quarterback that these guys are pivotal playmakers. I'm just saying if there are plays to be made in the secondary and the quarterback's not executing, that's a problem on the quarterback more so than a problem on the coach. Because if the coach is seeing a vulnerability in the defense because the box is stacked and he's trying to exploit that vulnerability, and people are saying that Tua is a top 5 quarterback, a game-changing elite quarterback in this league, then he should be able to exploit the vulnerabilities in the defense when they present themselves without going the extra step and trying to stack the box to continue to dictate the run. Although, yes, if you'd like to continue to lean on the run because Tua does have limitations, then that is another suggestion for the coach to take, that the coach should take next year to minimize the limitations of the quarterback, because I got news for you. We're not getting rid of the quarterback and we're not getting rid of the coach, and we're running this back. So that's a good point CB83 makes. But my point is still, that initial point is valid, and it's troubling. And I just thought that was something that people should pay attention to and know in the community. Going into KC, here's the thing. KC's offense is struggling, and that's the talk of the town. KC's not that great. KC's not that good. Yeah, they're not. Their offense is not good like it used to be. But you know what's pretty decent? And here we go. Here we go. Tua side hotline. Michael K says that Tua could learn something from Josh. That's what you get when Josh keeps spanking you. So, the defense is playing pretty good for KC, though. And you know who's been playing good for us? Our defense. But our defense is so injured that I find it hard to believe they're going to be able to carry the load against Mahomes. This would probably have to be another game where the offense is going to have to keep pace. And the offense is going to have to be the difference maker. And the fact of the matter is, I haven't seen anything to lead me to believe that this offense is going to perform at a high level in a high-pressure situation, let alone in the freezing cold. But I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. I sure hope I'm wrong this Saturday. And I hope Tua proves me wrong. I hope Tua comes out, balls the hell out, executes, exploits every vulnerability in the Kansas City defense, and proves all of us wrong and puts all his haters to bed. And I hope all these Tuaneers get to come out with their apology letter posts again, because I'm a Dolphins fan. I want to win. I want Tua to be the best quarterback in NFL history because I want to win. So I hope I'm wrong about those limitations. And I get it. Tua's never going to shoulder the load. He's a balanced attack. He's a decent quarterback. There's a lot of guys that are decent quarterbacks, but that is a departure from what we've heard for a couple of years about his ceiling, how great he was. And most importantly, that should figure into contract negotiations, because you can't sink a huge proportion of your salary cap into a player who isn't carrying the load. When you look at somebody like Christian Wilkins, who is a difference maker, I'm not saying to give him a huge proportion either. He's got to come down a little bit himself. But if he's making a difference at crunch time like he did this last game, isn't he more deserving of a bigger chunk of change? I understand the market. I understand the market for quarterbacks. I understand all these things that we can't change. I'm just trying to make a logical point here. So we sign Justin Houston, Bruce Irving, Malik Reed. We sign these guys that were out of the league, but they're high caliber players when they played. We got some reinforcements for this battered and bruised defense. We'll see how it does. We'll see how much of an impact it makes. But I'm not necessarily confident going into Kansas City. And the final thing I'll say about this game against Kansas City, I am sick of these corporate stooges in every league and sports conference in America being so greedy all the time. And if you're in South Florida or you're in the Kansas City area, you're going to get the game on local TV, as you should. But for everybody else across the nation, I am sick and tired of these money grabs with these leagues and these streaming services. You know, everybody said, let's unplug. You'll save money. Unplug from cable. But now you have 20 different streaming services. Every one of them is exclusively carrying this show or this movie or this game. And you have to subscribe to all of them to watch all the stuff that all the people are talking about. And you're paying more money than you were on cable. And now the NFL already streamed exclusively. Now Amazon Prime exclusively has Thursday night games. So you got to subscribe to Amazon Prime, which I'm already a member. YouTube, for the Sunday ticket, the price went way up. And now to add insult to absolute injury, you got to subscribe to Peacock to get this playoff game. Don't you people have enough money? And look what you did to the game. You made the quarterback such an emphasis that teams are completely handicapped. If they have a mediocre one, they got to pay them, like Daniel Jones, all the salary so that they're never going to go the distance. And if you have a great one, which is like 3 teams, you have a chance. And everybody else, you might as well not even show up, because without a great quarterback, you have no chance, because that's how they made the game. Because they think offense is the only thing that sells tickets, because no one ever cared about running back superstars or defense, which is nonsense. But they want to sell tickets. They want to show Taylor Swift and her little press box. And Roger Goodell wants to make a couple more bucks for guys that are already billionaires. And I just had to say that that's BS. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick. Without further ado, I'm bringing you a man wrapped in a blanket because it's cold in New England, but not, cold. There was a snow game there this week. He's got his hat on. He's been through a lot. I want you to pay this man some respect because he's been through a lot. He has to come home from the old ladies at the customer service desk. Sometimes they put him on cash register. He doesn't want to do that, but he's got to go. He was trained on it. They need him. Then he's got to go to class, but it's January. He's probably off for the next 2 weeks still. But he's had to endure this travesty of a season. He knew it was coming, but he kept his head high. He lent me his emo hat when I needed it. And you've now subjected this man to this. I want you to see how this has affected Greg, and this has affected G. And now you will.
Bundle up! Bundle up! It's going to be a cold weekend this weekend. And let me tell you something. If we would have won this game, we wouldn't have to bundle up. We could have, took off our sweatshirts and our shirts and our pants, and be wearing no pants but shorts in the bathing suit in the sun. But now, Tua Tagovailoa and Adam Gase and Tyreek Hill decided, let's lose this game and let's go to KC. This game, man, I had hope. We were up 14-7 going to the fourth quarter. And then what do you know? A punt return for a touchdown gives all the momentum to the Bills. Not to mention Trent Sherfield, this former Dolphin, got a lucky touchdown. It's what it is. And then they get the touchdown to win the game. But let's talk about this game real quick before we talk about KC.
Yep.
The first half, we were running the ball great. Defense played great. There was a play. I don't know if you guys know this. There was a play right before the quarter, and 11 seconds ago, the defense was not preventing the end zone, right? We were all like, what's going on? And then Jerome Baker, that was actually Vic Fangio. That was actually pretty smart because if he didn't do that prevent, they might have scored, or Allen, they would have at least got a field goal or something. So that was pretty smart. You may call it stupid, whatnot. Second half, this offense was garbage. It was horrendous. Tua looked like Ryan Tannehill out there. McGeek looked like Adam Gase. Tyreek looked like Kenny Stills. This offense was garbage. It was flat. We should have ran the ball more. Yeah, I agree with that. Tua had a shot to go down and tie the game and throws a whatever you want to call that to the defense. But, is what it is. But I got to congratulate Buffalo. You guys deserved it. Some Buffalo fans will argue they don't deserve it the way they played for the season. Shout out Michael K. He's been here through and through. Congratulations, Buffalo. We hope to see you in the playoffs if we go that far. Now, what I need everyone to do, we're beating Kansas. The fan and me, we're beating Kansas City. It's the Dolphins' revenge tour, but let me be realistic before we get into the fan and me. We're not winning. Tua can't play in the cold. Adam Gase is going to show up with this, what is stupid play calling and probably not run the ball. You're welcome, Michael K. You deserve all the credit. I mean, you deserve it. You were here through and through. You weren't running and hiding, but we're going Arrowhead. It's going to be loud. It's going to be freezing cold. We're not winning this game. I do not see the NFL allowing their golden boys and Patty Mahomes and Travis Kelce and their golden girls and Brittany Mahomes and Travis Taylor Swift winning. They don't want the Chiefs to lose. We're not winning this game. But the fan and me, it's a Miami Dolphin revenge tour. Buckle up, leg one, and if we win this, we go to Baltimore.
I hear you, and that's the G rant today. And look, I got it. The fan in you is what I want to be, G, but I have a hard time just like you do. I know too much about what goes on, but I got to welcome Shake Money, who was at the game. What'd you say, G?
I have to watch the first hour of the game at work. That's the thing that sucks.
It might suck, but you might wind up being like, good thing I didn't have to watch this thing. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
And with the Peacock thing, too, I have Peacock because I watch my wrestling from that. I mean, dude, it's literally a cup of coffee. I
know that, but I just think it's greedy. We can all afford it. We all got it, but it's still a money grab. I just think it's greedy by these corporate guys. They got to do this no matter what. It's going to get worse too. They're going to keep farming stuff out to different
Amazon Prime will eventually get one. You know it's coming.
Oh yeah, and I already have that too, and I like it. I'm just saying. And by the way, so Shake, What's going
Morning,
on?
Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Is it beautiful, Shake? Is it really? That's all you could say. I get it. I get it. Shake, you got some good, the bad, the ugly. You might be muted there. You're muted.
Oh, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. My bad.
It's all good, brother.
Excuse me.
You got good. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
You know. See how beside myself I am.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
Shake.
Well, let's start with the good, man. The good. We're still in the playoffs.
True.
It's good. And the defense, man. You lost Bradley Chubb. You lost Jalen Phillips. I mean, you had kind of a skeleton crew there, and I tell you what, they were able to still, fight. You know what I mean? And hats off to Christian Wilkins, man.
Yeah.
With that strip sack. I mean, in the second half, before the first half, instead of them going for a field goal, they tried to go for the field goal and they ran out of time. So we stopped them there, and then we stopped them from on a fourth down as well. I mean, so that's two turnover on downs that doesn't really count on the stat sheet. As
good point.
I
You're
would say
right.
as
It's almost 5-2, Shake, in turnovers.
Yeah, so the defense. I mean, what more can you ask from them? You know what I mean? Of course, in my opinion, the bad is two interceptions, one in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean?
Not good enough.
And that goes into the play calling as well. But at the same time, like you said, when there's players wide open, you look at the film, then it's not McDaniels. No,
Right. It can't be. Not in that aspect, anyway.
I think Tua. One thing I do agree with the Big O is he needs to start calling his plays and say, "Look, I know you want me to run this play, but once they snap the ball, they audible. McDaniel can't help him, so he's got to audible. He's got to be able to audible with the defense,
Right.
Yes. So, and the ugly, we're gonna say that punt return. I was at that game.
Oh.
And let me tell you something. The Bills fans up to that point were quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't really, because like I said, and they weren't quiet. But as soon as that punt return, you could literally feel the momentum swing 180. That momentum, and once they got juiced up, there was no turning back. And the other ugly, surrounded by Buffalo fans.
Yeah, man. That sucks, bro. You guys were both. You were there. That sucks.
Yeah.
What do you think the ratio was?
It's and I don't blame. They outpriced themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking $300 for nosebleed sections, man. Come on, you know what I mean?
It's a lot.
So if you got a family of 4, you're looking at over $1,000.
It's too much. It's like that's what I mean by the money grab too. It's too much to go to a game. You can't go to a game anymore. You got to buy corporate seats. It's hundreds of dollars to go to a game. I'm lucky if I can make 2 games the whole year.
Yeah,
and the parking's through the roof. The food is like quadruple or times 5 priced. What more do you want?
No, man, I got a bottle of water and a pretzel. I paid $14 for that.
That's insane. And then they lose. And what do you think the ratio was, Shake? How many Bills to Dolphins fans in that building?
I would say honestly 60-40.
Bills to Dolphins or Dolphins to Bills?
Dolphins 60,
okay.
Bills 40.
Okay.
Obviously in the visitors section, it was.
Yeah.
And if you look at this side, it was definitely on this side of the same. It was probably, I want to say it'll probably be like 70 Bills, 30 Dolphin fans. But on the other side, it was 70-30 30, and
Okay.
on this where I was, I would say it was about 70, 80, 20.
Okay, so that's because the media hypes it up like they want it to be the biggest story ever that the Bills took over the stadium. Still a lot of Bills fans, but it's good to hear that, Shake. But still, it still sucks to be surrounded by opposing fans in your home building. And I'll tell you something: when I go to like the Jets game, I'm not allowed until the very, very end when the Jets fans leave because it's their building. I cheer for the Dolphins, but I'm not going to act like a jerk, or anything.
Actually, if you want to be real, the Cowboys fans travel better, but by the way, this
Cowboys
Sunday
and Dolphins travel pretty well too. We got fans everywhere.
This
but
Sunday,
the Bills travel well. Oh boy, he's been he put that away, and now it's back out. Terrible. You're terrible with that towel.
This belong. The story behind the towel. So,
oh yes.
I want to hope the Steelers beat the Bills, but that's not going to happen. TJ Watt's ruled out. They have no quarterback. The Steelers are going to get blown out. I want to have hope that the Steelers win, but there's no hope.
I wonder if Tomlin is still there.
It's going to be Bills Dolphins AFC Championship Revenge Tour.
Black and yellow.
Larry, if you want to take my logo, I'll send you a logo. Put it on a T-shirt. We can make money off this. Do it.
The Revenge Tour?
Revenge Tour 2024.
Well, listen, what we're going to do is this is captured now. This is on public record now. So if they do it, we're going to make T-shirts with your face from this video and put Revenge Tour and sell them everywhere. We'll
put that logo right there.
That'll get us some content. That'll get you guys a lot more content for a lot longer. That'll make some money right there.
And Larry, I wanted to bring this up, but I forgot about it. The Tua and the McDaniel getting rid of them both, it's nonsense. You're spewing nonsense. The only hope you have is we either A, get blown out by the Chiefs or lose close, and then we have a terrible year. That's the only way it's going to happen. But an interesting point by Mike Florio at halftime when he was talking about Bill Belichick. He was talking about the Commanders and the Falcons, all those bum teams. But then he went with a little nugget. There could be a playoff team that could be in the mix. Is that us? Is that the Cowboys? I don't know. That was an interesting nugget.
Well, that's an interesting thing. I mean, I think we're going to run this back. I think we all know the narratives are already ready to hit the press. We already know that the narratives are ready to hit the press. They're going to come right out about Omar Kelly's already typing stuff. And I like Omar, but he's already typing stuff and headlines talking about how the Dolphins are limping into the game with all these injuries. That's going to be the narrative. If we could only stay healthy, just like last year, if Tua could only stay healthy. This year, it's the team could only stay healthy. That's what we're going to be. And listen, this fan base is filled with people. I mean, look, some of these people, I'm all for positivity and the power of manifestation. But some of these people, I think they're 8 years old the way they talk. They're sitting there. They're like, you don't like our team anymore? You're not a real fan. I don't like, bro, I told you, cover your kids' ears. Cover them. There's no Santa Claus. There's no workshop. And the Dolphins floundered this year. Don't sit there saying you're not a real fan. You don't like Tua. This is the best season we had in a lot of years, and you guys are mean. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, I've been going.
What are we doing?
I've been going at people on Twitter. Oh, Tua passing title. I was like, well, what has that exactly gotten us? No playoff wins, no AFC titles, no AFC championships, no AFC title appearances, 0 Super Bowls. So what is the? And I was my friends. I tell you, are Patriot fans. They were like, I was fuming after the loss. They're like, you're going to the playoffs. You have 4 winning seasons. I was like, what has that gotten us? It's got us nothing.
Right.
If we win a playoff game, then I'll be happy. All this negativity for me. Win a playoff game, my negativity goes away. Let's build up. We're not winning the Super Bowl. I hope we win the Super Bowl. It's not happening. All these injuries, it's gone.
Not happening.
Win a playoff game. Win this game in KC. Win a playoff game. Build upon this for next year. That should be the goal for this team.
But the caveat is this, Greg. If we win a playoff game because Patrick Mahomes blows his ACL on the first play and we run the ball down their throats, I'm still not going to give them this Tua stuff because if we win that way, they're still going to come out and say Tua's 1-0 in the playoffs, 1-0 in the playoffs. But he has to also have a good game, okay?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm too much of a realist to fall for the nonsense.
Yeah, me too.
That's just me. But now I'm going to open the floor to a man who has been waiting. I could tell the thoughts are percolating in his head because he's rubbing his temples. And that's how, because they want to come out. He wants to talk. It's the pink. He's coming out with the Pinky Ring podcast, by the way. So you better be ready for that. Bro, tell the people what's on your mind. And I'm going to put this link. And we're going to do one at a time. You want to come up and talk to us. We're going to do it now.
By the way, us going to the Super Bowl, I'm hoping that my old lady will take me to the bunny ranch, but it's not gonna happen.
Because that's Vegas, bro. It's in like Puyallup or something. It's like right outside Vegas, the bunny ranch. Luchi, what's on your mind, bro?
I don't know. I'm just waiting for this week to see if Tua can get it done. You know, this is it. This is his big shot. And if he goes up there in the frozen tundra and, you know, has a great game and leads us to victory, that'll be cool. I was reading the comments. I saw other people talking about, oh, you can have an elite team and win with a mediocre quarterback, and talking about the Trent Dilfers and all the stuff that I've been saying. Tua is that guy, Trent Dilfer of them Ravens, and Brad Johnson. They said one guy had the balls to mention Peyton Manning with the Broncos. Like, get out of here with that. To even mention Peyton Manning at the same breath as Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer. You're a cornball for that, whoever you were, because that's not the same situation. If that's what you want, which one of them guys went to multiple championships and Super Bowls? That's what you want for the team, because that's what you're getting. And then I'd be okay with that if we give him Brad Johnson kind of money. If we give him Trent Dilfer kind of money, then I'll be cool with keeping him around. And then, you know, let's try to see if we can't get some miracle players on defense.
Yes.
And, you know, but
that's what it boils down to, bro. It's a good point.
Yeah. They were saying, they're like, oh, would you rather have an elite quarterback with an okay team or an elite team? Because you can win with an elite team and an okay quarterback. You're not contending year in and year out with an elite team and a mediocre quarterback. And Russell Wilson, I saw them mention Russell Wilson to a lesser extent. I don't think he was a Brad Johnson either, to be honest, man. Russell Wilson won a lot when he was over there. And
he did, yes. Yeah.
And Russell Wilson would extend plays. He had a terrible offensive line and was under the gun a lot. And people could say what they want about him and call him a simp and all his other personal stuff. But when he was in Seattle, and I know he was coddled a lot, but if you go back and watch some games, man, Russell Wilson made a lot happen, bro. He extended a lot of plays. He played a big part in that. I know the Legion of Boom was a great defense, and obviously Marshawn Lynch was a fantastic running back, but Russell Wilson held his own in making certain plays happen when they needed to happen, and you can't convince me otherwise. And there you go, too. That's another thing, Adam. It's like when it comes down to that, it's like, if you have a good quarterback, an elite quarterback, and there's injuries that go out, they're going to continue to play no matter what. You know you have a chance. Otherwise, you're looking at like we look now. And even still, man, our defense, we went into this game banged up. Guys showed up and showed out. They played fantastic. Our defense played great. I don't care them 300 yards Josh Allen had. It's really kind of deceiving when you think about it. It's really kind of deceiving. A lot to the point of how Tua's stats look this year. Some of his, you know, big yard games, like the one against Dallas, it is deceiving. Them yards look good, and you know he did have some nice plays. His most crucial play at 359 passing. It's deceiving. They scored 14 points.
Right.
And this ain't a shot at you, Michael K. There you go. Them 60 yards rushing is what mattered. Them 60 yards, and especially that one play late in the game, they needed that first down, and man, he got the first down. That's where it matters. That's where Josh Allen had the game. But I mean, them 359 yards, the guy had two picks, and I ain't even gonna blame him for that turnover because Christian Wilkins just took the ball from him. So it's not like,
bro, it was brutal. That was a good play.
I don't even count that turnover against Josh Allen. That was just a great play by defense. But he had 2 picks. 359 yards, two touchdowns. But they have 14 points. Our defense played fantastic that game.
They really did. Considering the injuries too, bro. Come on.
Right. They played.
Come on. They balled out of their minds.
They played great. And we had several opportunities, man. And then they were on the field the entire second half. The whole second half, they were on the field. And to get a stop against a quarterback like Josh Allen, it's a big guy who's easy for probably less than a yard. To get that stop in that clutch moment when, all the energy's high, and I'm telling you, the stadium, you couldn't tell if it was a Bills play or a Dolphins play. The celebration was as loud. It was deafening no matter what was happening in the game. So the energy that was there, and for the defense to get that stop and give us the opportunity, you couldn't ask more from the defense. And ultimately, that special teams play, our guys wiped each other out, which has been kind of it's happened a lot this year. I don't know what the hell that's all about. A bunch of, these guys are clumsy, running into each other. We've hurt our players more than the other teams.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. That's really
that Cam Good. Go back and watch the play. That was something. That punt return was really due to us running into each other, and that's what had him where he could break and get away, and ultimately scored a touchdown. I mean, go back and rewatch the play. It's like, I just feel like here we go. We're going into Kansas City, and we'll see. Can Tua get it done? I hope so. I want to see him. I want to see him get it done. I never hated on him. I just told the truth that when it comes to these big games, he folds. That's all I've ever said, man. It's proven fact.
It is. There's no more debating, Luch. It's proven.
People always wanted to debate me, and then they get up here and they talk about a lot of stuff other than anything that we're talking about. It's happened on Facebook.
Well, everywhere. To your point,
listen, there's no rebuttal for when I say my argument that when it comes to big games with contingencies, I know I said that word a lot, but when something is on the line for this game and it really matters, he has terrible games every time. He's never shown up and really had a big game. This whole last stretch of this season, the Dallas game is the best game he had, and that's all I ever asked of him was just don't blow the game for us. And, that was the first game he had where he didn't really almost throw an interception. But did he have a great game? He really didn't. And people say, oh, you're tripping 290-something yards. That ain't good. It really wasn't a good game for him. Go watch the game. It wasn't a good game at all for him. Sorry, it wasn't.
Right.
But he did all he needed to do. Just don't throw it away like he did against the Bills this game. But he played terrible this whole part of the season when the pressure's on and everything, the heat is on. And he did what he's done his entire career as a Miami Dolphin, and we're in the year 4, and people are still waiting for something drastic. But I'm gonna go Kansas City. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he could do that. He does that. And
I hope so. I mean, I'm a Dolphins fan, right? I'm more a Dolphins fan than a Tua fan. I'm both.
I'm not like Greg. I ain't sold on him. I ain't saying pay him money. If he goes, I don't care if he goes and has a fantastic game against Kansas City. And the -2 wind chill factor weather. That don't get, man. Okay, I'll be happy with that. But you just had how many opportunities at the end of the season to close out the season to have at least one game? So what? That's not going to swing how I feel about him. The sun shines on the dog's ass every now and then. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Mounty, what's good, my brother? What's going on? By the way, guys, if you're in the room, click subscribe. Super chats are open. Everything's open. Click subscribe and holler at us. Mounty, what's good,
before you do, Monty, I just want to point this out that the Tuaneers called Justin Herbert a fourth quarter choke artist, which he deserves that title. So at the end of the day, you got what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
True story.
Hey, what's going on, Larry, Shake, Lucci?
Mounty,
what's going on,
good,
Greg?
Monty, how you doing, guy?
Hey, man, I look, I'm gonna tell you something right now, and this is, I'm not gonna be long-winded with this. First of all, Tua has played, he's played horribly down the stretch, and if he cannot win this game, if he cannot win and win under adversity, when people are verbally persecuting him to prove he belongs. First of all, how can you even consider yourself a franchise quarterback, especially when the position that we were in, you can't even win your division? How can you be classified as a franchise quarterback? You haven't even won your division. Secondly, if he fizzles out at the end of the season, our window is small going forward.
It is, bro.
really, really small. We talking like Tyreek Hill wants to retire after next season. Look, if we lose, every conversation must be on the table. Everything. Just because of our window being so small. So if Tua is not the guy, if he can't get us there, if he hasn't demonstrated the ability to win the big game, especially on a consistent level. I mean, and you got to remember, Aaron Rodgers was hurt this year. He's going to be back next year.
Exactly, bro.
So we're going to have to deal with him, Garrett Wilson, possibly Devontae Adams, Brees Hall, Josh Allen, Diggs, Gabe Davis again, Shakir next year. If Tua, look, if he can't compete with these guys, then what are we doing? Like we're putting lipstick on a pig, bro.
That's what Omar reported before McDaniel got here, that guys in the locker room were saying, if this is what we got and we got to go against those guys, what are we doing? Now, I'm not trying to bash him to that level because he has vastly improved under McDaniel, but Mounty, your point is valid, man.
Like if he can't go head to head with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and Josh Allen, I look, dude, the defense gave us the ball 3 times. Yeah. 3 times. And we can't get any, like, dude, I'm listen. And then when we were gashing Buffalo in the first half, and Buffalo, they adjusted in the second half, and kudos to them for doing it by bringing a guy down in the box. Dude, any seasoned quarterback would have made them pay for that with the receivers that we have.
Yes. It's the whole point of having a good run game, is it not? Is so you can open up the pass.
Exactly. So when they're one up on the outside, you got Tyreek Hill out there. I mean, come on, dude. And then you got, when he threw that interception, when he was going to Chase Claypool, first of all, you have no chemistry with Chase Claypool. Okay? Why would he be your first read?
Yes.
Why would he be your first read?
That's probably on McDaniel, that one.
And then, McDaniel, and did you see the look on McDaniel's face when he threw it?
Bro, McDaniel
McDaniel was looking like, what the hell? Like, what? That wasn't. What do we do? What are you doing? I don't know. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you this. This offseason, I think Greer and Stephen Ross and McDaniel is going to have some conversations going on.
They got it.
And don't be surprised if McDaniel say, "Look, Tua, I love you, but look, my job's on the line." I can't see how Stephen Ross not look at them mugs side-eyed. Like, look, the defense gave y'all the ball 3 times. 3 times.
Yeah, bro, it's obvious. Like,
Well, and you know what? And I think Tua needs to set, and at the same time, Tua has to say that, Rick, I love you, but I can't keep throwing to you even when you're double coverage. I know you want me to throw you the ball even if you're double coverage, but I'm sorry. My future money is on the line here.
That's true. Can't throw it to you. And I'll say though, Reek, man, like Tua threw that high ball to him, which was way too high, and that dude jumped as high as he could and probably ripped his ankle to shreds trying to catch that thing. So he gives effort, but he also drops balls at opportune times. He's not exonerated from this either. And I agree, this whole chasing 2,000 is cool and all that if you can do it within the realm of your normal offense. But if you got to, strain yourself to do it and be completely out of gas by the end of the season, then it ain't worth doing because they didn't get it anyway.
Yeah, listen, I like Tua, but I'm a Dolphins fan since 1980. And I'm gonna tell you something. I have some proposals in my head right now. If we were to move on from Tua, I got a proposal in my head right now for probably for the next year or two. I would trade Tua. I would go get Matt Stafford. That dude, he would sign him for a year or two.
I mean, he did it with LA.
Dude, I would go get Matt Stafford. Nice, strong arm, mobile, experienced Super Bowl winner. I will bet on that. A more
This
experienced
team is
quarterback.
talented, bro. It's
We
talented.
ain't trading Tua. Let's get
Listen.
this straight. Nobody's trading for Tua.
I don't hate.
I don't believe that, Luchi. I don't believe that. Somebody will take
Guys
him.
like Costa Nostra and
G, what you eating? What we got? What we got, G?
Nobody thinks Tua could get the real talent evaluators. Nobody thinks Tua is the guy. Everybody knows.
Hey, Lucci. And you hear in the Twitter spaces rampantly. The distraction is, well, he led the league in passing yards. I could give a crap about passing yards. Mean nothing to me.
Yeah, it's just
If you don't have at least 35 touchdowns or something like that, because that's what wins you the game.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather you have 3,200 yards and 40 touchdowns.
Hey, by the way, hey, listen, Brian Flores is going to become a head coach. Maybe Brian Flores will.
Listen.
I love the nightly ice cream, Greg. It's a great release. Like, it's a stress reliever. What flavor? Is that cookie dough? What is that?
Cookies and cream.
Yeah. I like that, bro. You're making me want to
sorry.
go out in this rain and get some cookies and cream myself.
I don't hate the idea of moving off Tua if it's for like a Justin Fields staff. But at the end of the day, Tua's not going anywhere unless he somehow gets hurt next year, because TD said it in his live stream that I was up to 2 a.m. watching. They aren't getting rid of Tua because they're trying to stick it to blind force. That's all it is.
I could see that.
They're not moving off him unless he gets hurt next year. If that's what Chris Greer wants to do.
We need to sign the kid from
So Greg, what are you saying? So what are you saying that Chris Greer basically? What you're saying is Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel basically ready to put their careers on the line for Tua.
No, I think Stephen Ross and Chris Greer are trying to stick it to Flores. That's what I'm kind of getting. The only way.
Who's crying except you?
Hey, and you know what's funny though? This guy, did he watch the game to see what, you know what I mean?
I guess not. Like,
you know
that's
what
the
I'm
thing
saying?
too. Like,
come on, man.
That you're right. The one side is the crybabies. Like, you guys hate Tua. The other side is be a man. Just take it. What is that crap?
I don't know, but it's always the guys with no profile picture and a fake name that got the most to say.
That's right.
So,
listen, I don't hate Tua, but TD has been saying it from day one with Tua. He's good enough, but not that great enough, or however he says it. I can't put it into words, but he's good enough, but not great enough to get you there. And I'm going to support Tua no matter if he's here. I'll support him, but he's just good enough to not be great enough.
And Mounty, bro, thanks. So I'll put you backstage again. So we got to put some more people in there. But thanks for the comments, my brother.
I'm with Costa Nostra.
I hope Tua's
Hey,
revenge tour, baby. Revenge tour.
Before you get to the before you get to Nene, real quick,
stick it to Flores. That's a Hollywood narrative there, man. That's not
what
the
up,
case,
Shakes?
man.
no, the one good thing, the last Buffalo Bills loss, you seen the picture I took with Zach Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Well, this time I left early. I left before the 2-minute warning. As I was going downstairs, I was able to take a picture with Seth Levitt and OJ.
Nice, bro.
Duffy.
Nice.
I got to talk to him for a little bit, and of course, you already know I was hanging with this handsome guy right here.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
I mean,
look at that
everyone
guy,
wants to hang
huh?
with him. Come on now. Come on now.
We tried to show up and show our support, man.
Oh yeah. Nene, what's good?
Hey, I just want to expand on the whole Chris Greer thing. I don't think it's Flores. I think he wants to validate that pick in Tua. I know we have seen that Ross in particular wasn't sold on Tua, given the antics before Tua got here and even while Tua was still in Miami. I think Chris Greer is behind a lot of what we're upset about, and people killed me for it. But you think about this from a legitimate perspective. Some of you run businesses, some of you have been a part of businesses, right? You have those experienced employees that can challenge authority, right? They have cachet. They've been with a company for a long time. They have experience, right? Then you have employees that they just want to keep their job. Even if they don't agree with something, they're going to just get along with the program. Because a lot of this, if you really sit back and just pause, right? Because last week, Big O and Omar start sending these fillers about Mike McDaniel
Yes.
being in hot water, right?
Yes.
Before we even played the game, right? Now,
Yes.
all of a sudden, we done switch the agenda from what they was pushing down our throats that this is the best roster in 20 years and this is the year because Tua is healthy. And now we have completely switched it. And now all of a sudden, Mike McDaniel, the person that they was doing specials on about how he's such a joy in the organization, how he's and it was taking shots at Flo, that he was more approachable and he's workable. You trying to tell me the same person that you gave all of those praises during the wins, all of a sudden just lost all of his common sense, right? Lost all of his ability to communicate. Because if we're normal Joe saying run the ball in situations, you don't think nobody in that organization can go to Mike McDaniel and say, hey, instead of calling these particular plays, just run the ball? Or like we saw just how aggressive he was in the first half against Buffalo. And then a couple of times the play doesn't work in the second half because the Bills adjusted. Now you go back to just forcing the ball to Tyreek Hill. Some of this you got to sit back and use your common sense. I'm not saying be a conspiracy theory, but it would not surprise me if Chris Greer, because I saw something today that just brought red flags and people sucked it up. Do you know what the Miami Dolphins started promoting today? All of the records that we achieved over this season.
Of
And I'm
course.
just like, wait a minute. We're not even focused on Kansas City, right? All of the socials today went on Tua's passing yards. And I'm not saying I'm not proud of those moments, but your focus right now is to continue to play in this postseason. I don't care about records. And that's why when people was getting after Tyreek Hill about the 2K, I say do not be surprised if that's their goals, right? Our goals is something, but they want to do something completely different. That's why when they lose, they're comfortable. You don't see Robert Hunt showed us some emotion. You see Jalen Ramsey, it's freckles, but the majority of who you think should be in an uproar, they're not even saying anything. They're walking around like, to me, when I don't know about all of the fans on here, and I'm going to land my plane, but when I saw Josh Allen walking around in my city where I was born and raised, hyping up the Bills Mafia for beating us in our house after having a 3-game lead, after having the home field to finally do it, and you were up, and there was no emotion, nothing. So to me, I said this from the start, and people killed me on platforms and spaces. Stop going after the obvious guys. Stop going after Tua McDaniel. There is something constructively going on in this organization. I'm just going to be very simple. This organization is not organized. It's chaotic.
I like
it's
it.
Chaotic.
And let me put you back real quick because I got to get Mark up here, but we'll go back if we got time. But I appreciate that point. I'm going to address it in a second too because I agree with it. Look, at the end of the day, I think Nene makes a good point, which is I've long been saying that these guys, they want to win. Stephen Ross is doing the waddle and all that. But at the end of the day, they're businessmen too. They want to sell jerseys. They want to sell merchandise. They want to get endorsement deals. And if they can't win, they're going to advertise to you all these stats. They're going to spin a narrative to you that if we're healthy next year, and their mouthpieces in the media that have good relationships with them are going to help them start spinning these talking points. And I told you last year, we were going to forget about Tua's struggles at the end of the season. We were going to forget about some of the deficiencies that we saw. And it was all going to be if Tua stays healthy, because they're selling, as Stephen D says, that hopium. They're selling that hopium. And that's what they're going to do this year coming up. They're going to spin it like, well, we had all these injuries. Look at all these stats. Look at Tua, the passing title. Look at this. Look at that. Pro Bowl votes, which is a popularity contest, doesn't mean anything. Look at this and that. We made the playoffs. Best team we've had since 2000. Most of these kids repping the hell out of Tua like that weren't even alive to see that. So I don't know what they're talking about, but whatever. And at the end of the day, they're going to keep preaching the injury issues. And then once we get down to brass tacks, we're going to have the same ending that we had this year if we don't do something different. And that's all they care about. And yes, AB said, and Tua's about to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu, which was another big thing. But I will say it seemed like the jiu-jitsu did work because at the end of the day, he was falling a lot better. I mean, he stayed healthy. I'll give him props for staying healthy. And Mark, you were just in here. Mark from Buffalo. Now you're not. I want to get you up here, hear what you had to say. You were backstage, and now you're not backstage. I'm going to give you a minute or two to hop back on stage. Otherwise, I got another person in the queue here. But look, that's what they do. They spin narratives. And with a lot of fans, unfortunately, spinning narratives works. But with me, with a lot of other guys, with every guy on this panel, it doesn't work. Not that we're going to boycott the team, not that we're not real fans, not that we're not going to watch, not that we don't care, but just quite simply, we're not going to allow this fan base and this team to peddle nonsense to the people anymore, because now this is a more diversified, democratic space where it's not controlled by a few well-connected media guys. We have guys with platforms such as this who are going to bring you real talk and objectivity day in and day out, and we're going to hold these people accountable. And that's the end of that's the end of it. Period.
Mark says he got low audio, so bring up someone else.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about because my audio, I think
he's talking about himself. He couldn't hear himself.
Oh, okay. My bad, Mark. Sorry. I'm getting too revved up here. The accomplishment this year is a C+, and we squeaked into the finals because we stopped focusing because we thought we could cruise into it. We're lucky that we are where we are. You mean the playoffs? Yeah, we did think we could cruise into it because we thought we could sit people and give not maximum effort against teams like Tennessee, and it came off and completely bit us in the behind, and that's where we're at. Crypto, what's good, my bro?
Hey, that's my the currency connection, brother, right there, man. We was in you did the insomnia with us. Everybody here.
I already know about who Crypto is. Shoot, I listen to
Hey, hang on one moment. Give me a minute.
Tailgate listener. I'm an avid. People don't realize. Like, I'll comment sometimes, and El Cap or Color will pull my comment up, but sometimes I'm just lurking. And I usually watch when I'm not in the mood to come up, but I'm an avid tailgate watcher, so I know who Crypto is. What's up, my bro?
All right, hang on 1 second.
No problem.
Hey, so real quick, I agree with half of what Cosa Nostra said in that comment section. He says, so we had a crappy season. I live with that. I enjoyed myself, and of course, I want more, a lot more, but in no way was this a horrible season. Now, I agree with you that there was a lot of winning, and it was nice to finally, like, when we play bad teams, it was nice to, like go into a game and not be thinking, dang, I hope we don't drop this game to these bums. We went in there and handled business. That was all good. But the part for me, Cosa Nostra, that this was a horrible season, when we had a 3-game lead at the end of the season for the division and a real shot at the number 1 seed in the AFC, where the road to the Super Bowl would have had to come through Miami, and we just laid down and let all that dwindle away. It was like all that winning and running and gunning throughout the first part of the season that I was enjoying myself. Man, after that Tennessee game, that just went down the drain. And ultimately, man, I mean, we've had seasons like this before. It's similar in recent years. You know, when we had, I think the last tenure with Flores, we had where we went on that last 7-game win streak, and it was nice all the way to the end. And then I'd rather have a season like that where it's like, man, okay, we're fighting to get in and it come down to 1 game. Bro, we had a chokehold on the division.
Yeah, man.
And totally just laid down.
And Luch, you know something? I would take, and I was thinking about this watching the game. I was saying, look, these injuries are so bad, we're not going to overcome them. Like, that dream of the Super Bowl might be dead. Now, yeah, maybe we get past Buffalo a second time. Then if we're the 2 seed, we got a legitimate chance of not only winning the second game, but potentially hosting the AFC Championship game in a realistic way. But, Luch, I was at the point where I just wanted to win the division just to put that title on the wall.
Right.
Just to put that skin on the rug. You know what I'm saying? And that was good enough. A dream season that at least we could say, because Lucci, when I did In the Blender with Shake, and Shake asked me what my favorite season was, I said 08. Now, I don't really think about the Ravens killing us because I didn't expect to win in the playoffs. But putting that cherry on top in the Jet Stadium, and I was there, winning the division, completes that awesome season. And we couldn't even do that, bro.
Yeah. And we had such a great opportunity to where this game wouldn't even matter. We'd have won it. We could have locked up the division A couple of games before we couldn't do it against a pretty bad Tennessee team. Let's be honest,
Yeah, they're not good enough to beat us. And that's an interesting game because, you could say the defense certainly had a hand in it by allowing 2 touchdowns down the stretch. Unacceptable. But they were the only reason we were even up anyway, because they caused those 2 turnovers and gave us short fields. And then the offense had the ball twice too and couldn't do anything with it. And it's like the offense was supposed to be the strength. We have an offensive coach, and the offense didn't come through in the second half of the season.
The quarterback with the most yards this season, most passing yards, led the league in passing yards. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. All that stuff that people keep saying this is it's irrelevant.
And Adam, like, I hear you and I'm agreeing, and that's my thing. Like, but here's my thing. If he goes into the playoffs and has the same deficiencies and shortcomings, like, are people gonna come around or what? Because the way it's going, I hope he just lights it up with the world on fire, plays like a man possessed, but I'm not expecting it. But you're right, Adam.
I want to see. I personally, I feel okay with the Chiefs game. we got a great running game. When it's that cold, you're not really throwing the ball crazy. I mean,
I'm not worried about their offense. I'm worried about their defense.
Who, the Chiefs' defense? Yeah,
their defense is good, bro. Jones is a monster. They've been playing pretty decent. Their offense has been struggling with the receivers dropping balls, but that defense has been good. That's why I'm worried. Like, our defense is in shambles, so even if they're all
absolutely, Larry,
right, Crypto. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Crypto.
A lot of people sleeping on that defense fail to realize that defense shut us out in the first half, the last meeting, and if it wasn't for those hiccups on their defense, bonehead plays that aided us in our touchdown, and one of our touchdowns, they could have shut us out.
Yes. And by the way, just real quick, want to get to the super chat. Ricardo, thank you for the donation, my brother. It's really appreciated, especially from a Bills fan. But Bills fans have shown me love in here. It is what it is, man. Thank you for the thing. And you're right. White Milano was probably your biggest Dolphins killer. He was out. Von Miller was out. And at the end of the day, that's no excuse for our team. We did not capitalize, and Buffalo had injuries too, and we did not capitalize on the injuries when our offense could have, and they beat us fair and square. Like, and Gabe Davis went out in the middle of the game. So all that, Tyreek went out in the middle of the game. Even I said it. Oh, that's an excuse. Well, Josh and the Bills didn't have an excuse when Gabe Davis went out. So, Ricardo, good point. And again, thank you for the donation. But Crypto, you're right, bro. I'm worried about our defense is in such shambles that despite Kansas City's recent struggles, they'll be able to score, but their defense is a lot more stout than we realized.
And remember, their offense was struggling before they played us the first time around. It's not like Kansas City offense just started struggling. I mean, they've had that. That's what worries me about our fans getting selective amnesia when it comes to the Chiefs. They realized we're using the same talking points going into that game about how bad the Chiefs offense was, and fail to realize how dominant their defense have been playing. And it showed in that game.
But was their defense that great, or was it due to some stuff that our offense did wrong?
Their defense,
they defense shut our offense down.
They've been shutting other teams down, like they're
and they were shutting other teams down. That football, just like you explained on how you didn't want to blame Allen for that turnover because Christian Wilkins took the ball from him. They took the ball from Tyreek Hill and scored, and lateraled the ball and scored. That was 100% effort on them.
Yeah, that was a fantastic.
We didn't turn around and start throwing blocks for them to get in the end zone.
No, that was fantastic. What about that big miss?
That's them defensive effort would turn out to be the margin in the game.
But what about that big pass missed by Tua?
Yeah, but that wasn't scoring a touchdown. That wasn't a touchdown score.
Even if
one of them he threw that was high.
Well, here's the thing: don't get lost in the minutia. Yeah, he missed one throw. They made a play, but like overall, they shut our high-powered offense down. They've been playing at a high level. Yes, Tua could have tied it 100%, and he missed it. You're 100% right. But they still mostly
that wasn't Tyreek. That was a thrown. That was an errant thrown pass to the other guy.
That was Wilson.
That was Wilson. That wasn't Tua. I mean, that wasn't. That was just an errant thrown. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Cedric Wilson's a bum because people don't like him. Cedric Wilson's a pretty good player. We signed him because he was going to be our number 2. Greg, what were you going to say though? Because I want to get to you.
If you go look at Joe Shad's tweet, that geek. I hate Joe Shad. That guy is I hate our media team.
He's a geek. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Shad tweeted out a picture of all the injuries, and you can see the top 3 are Dolphins, and then you see the Cowboys and the Bills. So I happen to tweet at Joe Shad, this geek. I tweet him. Well, we're using injuries as an excuse. How come the Cowboys and Bills have this not the same amount of injuries, but they have injuries, key injuries, and they both won the division, got the 2 seed.
Right.
So,
right. Like, I'm done with the excuses.
I mean, we do have.
Yeah, we can't use it. Everybody's injured and banged up at this point of the year. No one's 100% at this stage of the game.
And by the way, our O-line is injured. They're playing pretty good, bro. And that's the other thing.
Especially the more games you play, the more likely you're going to be injured anyways, because 17 games.
True. Over the roster. I don't care if
there's a high probability of you being injured. You play a long season.
We have Claypool. And we have Wilson. I mean, we have all these talented players on this team. I don't want to hear anything about injuries.
That goes back to roster construction. So
maybe not on the defense.
It turned out that we're not the greatest roster in the history of civilization, like I've been hearing all summer long. Because if you did,
about that,
we would be able to survive all that.
You know what's interesting? We have survived it, but for quarterback play and some coaching. Let's think about it. What injury that this team sustained this season has cost us a game? Tyreek going down didn't cost us a game. None of the O-line injuries, I don't think, unless you could name me one. We got
because we won the game without them. Right. We won the Bronco game in convincing fashion without Jalen Waddle and Phillips. So yeah, as far as one specific injury, specifically directly linking to a direct loss that you can blame on that injury, it's 0.
Collectively, we only lost what, 5 games, six games. Which one was because of an injury? Like, we missed throws, we fumbled the ball at the end. We had the ball. Most of those games, except
we can't say because Mostert was out, we lost the Buffalo game. We can't do that because
that's what I'm saying. I can't say that. So like you got 2 blowouts.
That room, even with Mostert being out this past game, Chan had a fantastic game.
And
so we can't even use that one. Mostert being out.
And look even deeper. Look even deeper than
how
the replacement did. In 2 games, we got completely smacked and mollywop destroyed. So 1 guy's not making a difference, even 2 guys. In the other games, we had the ball in a position to win or to stop, and we didn't. So no injury, and I'm not arguing because no one here is arguing. We're all on the same page. No injury really cost us any games. It's our own play, which is why the narrative about injuries, which is going to happen this offseason, and everybody's going to run with it, is BS.
Yo, so what about all the injuries on defense? Listen, and I'm not that guy.
There's
a lot of guys that didn't give us a chance to win. Dolphin fans,
including me,
saying, "Man, we can't go into this game, Buffalo. We're not expected to win. We're crushed on defense." But all season it's been the offense. Everybody said the offense, greatest show on surf. But our offense was healthy. I mean, minus Waddle.
The offense was healthy for the most part, yeah.
Healthy enough.
And
healthy enough. The offensive line was serviceable enough. Even the backups were serviceable enough to give us time to throw the football.
And protection was good.
We've been interchanging all season with the offensive line.
Yep.
I mean, it's been good enough.
And they've been serviceable enough to get us in position to win games. Yep. So you can't even blame them for being out.
Right. So it's kind of like.
It's crazy.
Saying the injuries don't matter, bro. Like, maybe they'll matter against KC, but AB, name me a game where it mattered, because no one can.
Yeah, name me where it mattered. Name me the game. If this player would have been in, we would have won. Like y'all tried to use for Tua last year. If Tua would have played that Buffalo game last year, we would have won.
Right.
Remember, y'all was using that injury. Y'all was clinging home to that one, saying, "Oh, if he would have played this game, and this game." Now they can't use this because he played the full season. Now they can't use them. They don't want to use them same excuses for those other players and say if this guy was missing, we would have won. They only wanted to use it for Tua. It's funny how that works.
Exactly. It's even more funny. When you look at, we had pretty much the same exact game in the playoffs in Buffalo, right? That we just had in Miami against Buffalo with less on defense. We have more on defense.
Right.
Even with the injuries. When you look at it, we didn't have Ramsey. I mean, we had Howard, but who else did we have in our secondary? Was no Nick Needham. Our secondary was devastated by that point in the season.
Yeah, I don't even think Jones was in that game, right?
Oh, Jones wasn't in the game. We had less defense then than we had, even with the injuries that we had coming into this game with Phillips gone and Chubb. Last season
Right,
we had
and he
less
was making some
defense,
spectacular plays
less.
in that game.
What we ended up losing by a field goal last year in the
A field
playoffs
goal.
in
Yes, that was
Buffalo,
a field goal game.
and really it came
On
down
the
to Mike
road.
McDaniel blowing the plate. The time management was really.
With the last play, would be for Gasecki when he was
You know what I'm saying? And he was
on
a
that
rookie
last
coach,
desperation
whatever.
pass.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can expect that. And this season, I mean, I'm hard on Mike McDaniel, but I think he's terrible at game management, clock management, certain stuff, and obviously player management. Like Larry said in his spiel before we came on, he was saying, "Oh, yeah, that guys on the IR that didn't necessarily need to be on the IR." So now here we are in this point in the season, we can't bring back guys we need because we don't have the roster spots because of how he managed the roster back then. But he was like, Mike McDaniel's a two-a-near, like some of these people in this comment section.
I was a Flores lover because he's first my head coach. Number one, when he was the head coach. So that's nonsense about me being a Flores lover. You can hang on to that crutch all you want, AB.
But the fact that simple fact
All
of
you
the matter
want.
is,
So continue to go back down to the peanut gallery. Because that's what you wanted.
But yeah, man, he'll if I gotta roll with one or the other, I'll take McDaniel because I feel like if you got a McDaniel drawing up plays and you got somebody that's really competent at the quarterback position, then look what he did with this guy, who really can't do nothing but throw the ball where you ask him to throw it, and that's it.
Right.
Literally, because it ain't even once that dies out, look for something. Imagine if he has a guy that can extend the play. So he says, okay, now if this breaks down, I need you to buy about 3 seconds, and then this is going to be open over here. We don't even have that. So
somebody said this.
I'd love to see McDaniel with a guy who could really get more time for plays to develop, because Mike McDaniel draws these plays up with 2.5 seconds for them to develop. And look at the yards after the catch from our receivers. Imagine if he had a guy that could really extend plays and make it where plays have 3-4 seconds to develop in certain situations.
Yeah, buy you more time.
I mean, think about what he could do with that. Then we're probably talking about, greatness with this head coach. But right now, it's limited, man. I don't know if he does or if he doesn't. But I'll tell you this. As much as Mike McDaniel has,
I think he does.
As much as confidence as Mike McDaniel has put into Tua, I find it hard to believe. Hard to believe. And it's his 4th year in the league, right, that he doesn't have the opportunity or the option to change out a play if he sees something.
No, and McDaniel said earlier in the year when he threw that bomb,
you can't do that to a quarterback.
When he threw,
he's got permission to change it if he wants.
I think so too.
When he threw the bomb to Tyreek, McDaniel said that Tua called his own thing. He called it himself. So obviously he can, if there's a really under certain circumstances, he's done it before. So stands to reason he could do it again. At the end of the day,
right?
And
why would he just only specialize it for that one play?
Right. And somebody made a point the other day that I thought was really good, and I forget who it was on one of these content channels. He said, it's when it wears down and it's just somebody has to work their way down the field and just make plays. There's no more game plan. There's no more script. There's no more, certain, philosophical way you're attacking a team. You just got to go out there, your guys against their guys, hat on hat, and compete. That's the reason guys like Levis outduel the guy like Tua, because when brass tacks hits the fan and it's not this game plan anymore that has to be executed, and you just got to snap the ball and out athletic and out maneuver the other guy, he has struggled in those situations. Now, this isn't supposed to be a Tua bash fest, and I hope he succeeds and continues to improve, and he has improved thus far, but that's a legitimate reason and a legitimate issue. Now, Crypto, I'm going to take you back because I got Fred. I'm going to hop on, but thanks for the input, my brother.
Okay.
Hey, so real quick, let me say this to Costa Nostra. So you say you think he does. I don't know, admittedly, if he does or not. But let me just say this to you. 4 years in the league, and you got a guy like McDaniel that's been caping for you since day one, and he's been with them since last year working with them. Do you think that Mike McDaniel told this guy, don't you dare audible out of my plays?
No way.
You see the kind of friendly dork this coach is. Do you think he stone cold told Tua, don't you dare audible out of one of my plays? Is that what you think? Fred, how you doing, bud?
Oh, what's
Not
up,
good
Larry?
enough
How
when you
you
can't
doing?
beat good teams, AB. Sorry, Fred. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, Larry? Shake,
What's up, Fred?
Palucci,
What's going on,
Crypto.
Fred?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hey, Larry, that little analysis you just gave, I thought was spot on perfect, bro. I really do.
Thank you, brother. I
Spot
appreciate it.
on, man. Spot on.
I appreciate it. What else is on your
I
mind,
mean,
bro? How you feeling going into this game, man?
well, Larry, of course I'm upset about the loss, man. Oh, going into this game, but I'm still upset about
I
Sunday.
hear you.
But going into this game, man, I mean, we're band-aid up real bad. But however, man, I kind of have a little bit of confidence in Justin Houston. I think he may even pull a play out of his ass somewhere. But bottom line, Larry, the offense has to get going, bro. These 14 points, you know what I mean, every week, it's not going to get it, man. It's not going to get it.
I agree with you. And and the offense is supposed to be a focal point of the team. Offensive coach, offensive weapons, offensive salaries, eating up a good chunk of the salary cap. We got to get it done, Fred. We can't be doing this 14 points a game thing and expect we're going to go anywhere.
Right, Larry. And I did take into consideration about about the injuries, man. I considered that line. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But, I mean, it is what it is. The next man up. Quarterback has to step up big time because well, you get some pieces back now, but quarterback has to be more, play better than what he's done, man, the last couple of weeks, man. Bottom line, man.
100%.
Stop getting outplayed.
100%, Fred. I definitely agree with you. Wholeheartedly agree with you. That's where we're at, man. That's just where we're at.
And I also thought the defense played their hearts out Sunday, bro.
With all those injuries, no one expected it. Then they lose another heart and soul member in Van Ginkel going down. They're losing guys left and right. Holland tests out. He has to come back out. Baker has a great couple plays, and then he gets hurt. And they still get a stop at the end of the game on 4th and short against one of the best quarterbacks at 4th and short. They played their guts out.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And then the one guy I was getting kind of high on, hoping I see more of him, and I probably would have. He goes down on special teams, man. That being Cameron Good, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sad, Fred. It's tough for all of us in the community to even go through this, no matter what the cause is. We could argue about the causes, talk about the causes, whatever, but it hurts either way. It just hurts either way, and that's what's tough.
Yes, it does, man.
Rough.
But I'm just gonna go off of. It's all right. I'll be up here. Like, okay, now you got people in the back.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. We're gonna wrap up the show in a minute or two because we got Hard Knocks coming on, and it's ran its course pretty much. So we appreciate you, my brother, and join us next week too.
Hey, man, I said, that's your Jersey brother right there, man.
Hell yeah, I know.
Hey, Larry, with that right there, man, I'm just gonna say, man, keep what you're doing, man. I like what you do, how you give it, man. And I'm just gonna say, you guys have a good night, man.
You too, brother, and I really appreciate the props.
You too, my boy Shake. You too, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah,
Luchi, Crypto, all you guys, man.
Later, brother.
Hey, by the way, tomorrow on the Finn's tailgate, Red, White, and Bills, Sean is going to be joining me in the Smoke Lounge. I told him I was going to have him up, and another guy from Nickel City Mafia.
I was gonna say, I didn't know you were into that kind of thing, and you were gonna have that kind of band on your show, but
no, Nickel City Mafia. He's gonna be on. So him and Sean are gonna be on, and Great Wonder Boy is gonna be on too. He's gonna be on.
Michael K. Don't do it. You know why Michael K. is watching that? So the ratings go up, so they continue to do it. That's been the problem, man. Tua can't focus on what he's got going on in front of him. And here he is shucking and jiving on this TV show instead of being laser focused on what's supposed to be happening.
But to be fair,
distracted with this.
To be fair, he hasn't really been involved with the TV show at all, and he has not watched it, and he's not really, except from a distance, he's not on it much.
Oh, I don't know.
Cat for
But
life.
it's still, I still think it's cursed because the injuries.
Boo.
It's a cool
Boo to
show,
Hard Knocks
but
and
it ain't
everybody
cool
that watched
anymore. I'll tell you that much. It ain't cool anymore.
You're talking Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I liked it for a little bit. I ain't a big
Guess
fan
what?
now,
It's
man.
about to be in the next 3 weeks. They're about to be banger episodes. Miami
Yeah,
Dolphins
I'll tell you
Revenge
what,
Tour,
if we make
baby.
it to
Revenge
the AFC
Tour.
Championship, I'll watch that episode.
I just
How
got to get a
about that?
video of G like in the customer service area with a shirt on, just like Revenge Tour, and some chicks just like, wait, what? I have to return this Revenge Tour. Just spiking like the melon on the floor, shattering everywhere, eating a scoop of ice cream, just walking out like he owns the place. That's what I want. That's what I want for this channel.
This
All right,
guy,
anyway.
AB, is really a character, isn't he? This guy with everything. These guys,
He's
the
a
narrative
big,
is the favorite
big
word
character.
of these two
Yeah,
people,
man. Hey, listen,
man. How
I
about
love
the narrative?
AB.
This guy can't win a big game. Jive Turkey. How about that? This guy can't win a
man.
big game to save his life. Okay,
But listen, guys,
use
we
that
appreciate
narrative.
AB's
everybody
my dude. Hey,
watching.
well, Cat for life just popped up. Let me, if you don't mind, just
Yeah,
never
bring
mind.
him up. Bring him up.
Oh, never mind. He left. I was gonna say bring up Cat for life.
Brought
But
Cap. You
Cat for
could
life.
came up,
If
bro.
you're listening, man, come back up.
We'll take one more. We'll take Cap. It's because I've been listening to Cap all week on all the channels.
But no, AB, that's my dude right there. I love every. But then again, I love everybody, man.
You do, Shake. You're an equal opportunity dude. You love everybody. I mean, it's free speech. You can come up here and say whatever you want on the comments, on the panel, whatever. You might get pushback, but you can talk, you can hang out, you can be in here. It is what it is.
If you want.
Yeah, Cap, you can come up, man. You got maybe give Cap like another minute, and then we're gonna wrap up. If you guys have not subscribed, click subscribe. If you have not joined, click join. Become a member, like Lucci did, like Ryan did, like all these other people. Carrie did, Michael K did. All these people joining, which is awesome for the channel. It's great support. It's residual support. Keeps a baseline going. Join the channel. There's already some behind the scenes videos. The In the Blender pilot episode is up. Me just driving through the neighborhood is up, telling you about what I'm doing. The studio setup is up. You can see where I am in this little backdrop. You can see the whole room and everything else. So,
hey, by the way,
yep.
By the way, so I want to tease this real quick. What's going on, Miss Vince? Hey, me and Larry, we're gonna do a react because Larry is as an attorney. We're gonna do a reaction video to Cousin Vinny. He's gonna watch Cousin Vinny, and he's gonna we're gonna do a reaction video to my Cousin Vinny, and it's gonna be a membership only video.
Yes. So we got some stuff in the works for members only, man. And the more members we get, when we have a critical mass of members, we can have these fireside type chats too, where it's gonna be members only, and we'll just kick it with you and talk to you about the Dolphins. So we need a couple more members to make that happen and make it worth it. But check out the memberships and join, and make sure you hit subscribe, man. Click subscribe. I'll let Lakers come up because he's been wanting to come up. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? How y'all doing, man?
How are you doing, bro? What's on your mind? I know you've been itching to get on here for a while, bro.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all something, man. Hey, listen, we might have to go trade Tua now, man.
I hear you.
Because listen, bro, he's not gonna get any better. He's gonna stay even kill. You know what I'm saying? So why would we spend money, on him, to not get better? Low key, let's go trade him to go get Justin Fields. Let's go do that.
Bro, I don't think we should pay him a high proportion of the salary cap like they want him to. I agree with you there. Unfortunately, Lakers, I think this franchise, we know damn well what they're going to do.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I feel like if you do that, right, we're never going to win a Super Bowl like we want to. So let's just get it now. Let's go trade him away while he's healthy. And while he has value right now, trade him away and let's go get a draft pick. Let's go get another quarterback. Do something because we know as a fan base that we're not going to get better. He's not going to get better. He's going to stay even killed.
He's 4 years.
Tyreek already knows that.
Lakers all day.
Yeah,
you got people in the comment section been saying he's still in the rookie phase of this organization. He hasn't hit his prime yet. Some of them had the audacity to say 4 years in the league. That's what they're talking.
Well, according to Tom Brady, he says you don't really hit your stride until you turn 26. That's when you hit the stride. Hey, listen.
He's 26 now. Well,
you know what? God bless Tom Brady. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. You know a good player.
Yeah.
I don't care how old he is when he comes. You know a good player when you see him 4 years into the league. Sorry.
And guess what?
No, but hey, at the end of the day, there's players that develop longer than others, bro. There's players that develop a lot longer than others.
Yeah, but
Miss Fins, what's good? And I just Lakers, while you're up here, I just want to. There's two people in this chat here, and I just want to quickly address. One is saying, Sea Devil saying Greer neglected the O line. By the way, bro, the O line has been playing pretty good, so it's not like the O line is causing these problems. So I don't know what that means. And then Cosa Nostra says, Larry, when are you going to bring somebody up that doesn't carry a Tua pinata filled with BS? Bro, I don't control who comes up on here. This is the voice of the people. I didn't screen people on purpose.
Yeah, bro. Why don't you come here?
Why don't you come up here?
Yeah, this is. I mean, you guys can come up. I'm not handpicking people. That this is just how people feel. That's it. This is the pulse of the fan base. Check your pulse, man. Like McDaniel said, if you ain't got a pulse, you're not feeling. You know what? What are you talking about?
How about you just watch some of the games, Costa Nostra? Did you watch any of the games that mattered? These last 3 games? Did you watch any of them? Did you?
Wait a minute. Sea Devil says pretty good is not enough. So is that the same for Tua then?
It should be the same thing.
I mean, right?
You know,
right? It's pretty good is okay for Tua, but not for anybody else. I mean, what are we talking about? We're getting talked into circles here.
You see, put Michael K's comment up there.
But Sea Devil's right. He says you can't scan the field. He's right.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, look. If he says that, right? If he says that our quarterback cannot scan the field,
Horace, how you doing, bro?
Then low key, why would we give him the money? You feel me? Like, why would we kill ourselves in just having this mediocre quarterback and not trying to get somebody better?
I think the problem is, you know, it's just I agree with you. Like, even if you're going to keep them and you believe in them, you can't pay somebody who doesn't proportionally carry the team disproportionate money in the salary cap. If this was baseball and you could pay guys whatever you want, then you could pay them whatever you want because you could still pay everybody else. But in a salary cap league, you should have some semblance of your proportional contribution should be equal to your proportional salary cap hit. So if we pay him an exorbitant amount of salary cap, then he better contribute that level to the team, because if he doesn't, we're doomed, because you necessarily, with the salary cap, have to cut somewhere else. And if he needs everywhere else to be at optimal levels, there's no way to win. And that's what I don't understand about people that I've seen on message boards and Facebook recently saying, you know, cry more, get some tissues ready, because Tua's going to be here for years. Like, are you admitting that he's going to be here, so we're going to lose, so we're going to cry, so we might as well start crying now? If that's what you're celebrating, then how can you be a Miami Dolphins fan?
Listen, I agree with you all day, but right now, we had our opportunity. We had our shot to get Watson, we didn't. We had our shot to get Lamar, we didn't. Who are we going to get? Justin Fields? I mean, I like Justin Fields. Is he better than Tua? Are we going to go out and draft Caleb Williams? I mean, who is there to get? I mean, Kirk Cousins? Russell Wilson?
I mean, nah, hold up, bro.
No, but anyway, look, there's people in this fan base that would rather the team lose because they don't like Tua. If Tua's the quarterback, they prefer the team lose. Those are Tua haters.
How many of them are there?
The gentleman up here, we cheer when we win. We don't like, yes, this is an aha moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might have to go watch some Justin Fields highlights, but he can run, he can throw, and he can stand in the pocket and take a hit. So if that's the quarterback we probably need to go get, you know what I'm saying, to help our offense, then we need to go get that, because, you know what I'm saying, Tua's not looking so great.
I'll give him 30, Dolphins.
I need to know if the kid from Michigan's coming out.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is coming out.
He's probably going to whatever team Harbaugh is going to.
Who?
McCarthy
Kid from Michigan.
McCarthy.
Yeah. But if he goes to the Chargers,
I'll take him.
I don't think they move up Herbert.
Kid can move
I
around.
wonder where
He can see the
Harbaugh's
ball.
going.
I think he's staying. If
You
he
think
I
wants,
think
staying?
it's gonna probably gonna go. Actually, you know what? I think about it. He's probably going to L.A.
I think he's
They're
staying.
saying
'cause
L.A. is the whatchamacallit.
Scott Van Pelt, he was talking about they're leaving at like 1 and they're going to be pushing spring practices back. I saw that on Twitter last night. Now it's not a definite, but kind of intriguing that he might stay.
I mean, there's always speculation he's going to go to the NFL, but like college is a pretty good gig. And I mean, you know, it's a good school to be at. He's got unlimited recruiting resources.
Plus, he's yeah.
But you never know. Some guys it itches. Like I always thought that
Also,
Gruden
Bush, have a
coming
good
back
night,
was
bro.
a far fetched, but he came back. So, Lakers, final thought from you, my brother, because we're gonna sign off.
What
All right,
happens?
man.
What happens Saturday night, Lakers?
We have to offense have to play good because us getting 19 points, and then after that, us over here gaining 14 points. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? Low key, the defense is playing better than the offense. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying, we can probably get Waddle back and everybody else back. You know, we can probably do something, but you know what I'm saying, if our coach wants to put the hands in Tua's, you know what I'm saying? If the coach wants to make Tua throw the ball for us to win the game, that's not going to work for us. We're not going to win the game. So you know what I'm saying, he has to run the ball.
I agree with you, bro.
And Tua has to make good decisions, but if he don't make good decisions in late game situations, you know, on Saturday, then we might just have to just like trade him because you know what I'm saying, like this is low key do or die on Saturday. So
high key.
Yeah, high key, low key.
Yeah,
I mean, high key do or die.
Ain't nothing low key about it. The Lakers.
Yeah, man. You're right. But I mean, I just feel like we just, you know what I'm saying, like even if, you know what I'm saying, like he does do good or bad, we just might have to just trade him. You know what I'm saying? Even if he does do good or bad. Huh?
TD's gonna do a live reaction Hard Knocks.
Oh,
All
word?
right.
For that.
So everybody head over to TD, man. Check that live reaction. Guys, subscribe to the channel, join, become a member. I'll see you here soon. I'll be reporting live after the playoff game. You know how we do, man.
Final thought, Larry.
Final thought, go.
We know what's gonna happen Sunday. We all know what's gonna happen on Saturday. But the fan in me is not losing hope. We're going to KC, and the start of the revenge tour is happening. We'll be back here next week ready for Baltimore. The Bills fans were saying greatest story ever told. Well, guess what? Miami Dolphins' greatest story ever told. Revenge tour.
Yes. We're ending on that. We're ending on that.
Okay.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio